Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. I'm going to try to stay calm here, but I don't know if it's going to happen. I'll be honest with you. Friday, March 1st, 2024, post market report. Before I maybe, perhaps, and probably will go off the deep end very soon, despite the fact that this market, new record highs today, yeah. S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, imagine our shock. No, we're not shocked at all. But what's driving this is it's so freaking twisted. Anyway, like I said, before I get started, thank you. Thank all of you. Again, on the first of every month, I actually support my work, and a bunch of you stepped up and did do that. And I appreciate all of you so much. We got each other always. Anyway, thanks again. Look, let's talk. So, yes, indeed, it's lovely. Now, let me put this into perspective for you real quick. I'm sitting here as usual, flipping through, CNBC, Bloomberg, Fox Business, and they're just like the commentators. They don't know what to do with themselves. They sit there, they watch the market ripping higher again, new record highs today, Nasdaq, S&P 500, but not a peep, not a syllable, not an utterance with regard to what happened to the 10-year yield today. Right, R. Parks? I know you're watching this. Thank you. We just had earlier in this week a 10-year yield over 4.3. Right now, last night when they started this new bombing campaign in the Middle East, it's getting no media coverage. Almost zero. Okay, they got to hide this from you. All right. So last night, we know what happened. New targets are being hit by the United States and its so-called coalition partners. Right, the Bikini Truther? Thank you, too. And what did that do? It had an astonishing effect on the 10-year yield. Crude oil, too. Actually, gold, silver, and crude all got bid up nicely today. And, just as you would expect, look how this works. Pay attention for a second. Crude oil, nice. Getting bid higher after, we're bombing the living hell out of the Middle East here. And who knows how many people we're murdering, but that's a whole other thing. So today, of course, on the back of crude oil ripping higher here, energy. The energy sector today, it was the outperformer of the day. And when you get that, when you get crude oil getting bid up, you got the energy sector catching a bid, it lifts the whole damn market. And that's exactly what we're seeing here as well. Look, this is so easy. It's just too stupid, to figure out where this is going to go, how it's playing out. And, they laugh at us. They laugh at us. So hold that thought. I'm going to show you something in a moment, how they laugh at us, honestly. But we're going to have the last laugh, you and me, because nobody is further ahead of the curve than you and I. That's a fact. It's pretty astonishing here. Let me cover a few things again. I got a bunch of stuff. So you and I want you to think back for just a moment when before this whole issue with the regional banks fell apart. You and I said right here on this blog, we called it out. There's a problem here. You remember us discussing this? No deposits, no loans, no deals. Then a few months later, bang, regional banks start to crater. It's happening again. It's really not getting a lot of media attention here. Jamie Dimon, our lovely friend from JP Morgan, last week was it this week, where he was explaining creature as well, that there is going to be consolidation. That's their plan here. And you and I, again, have called that out before anybody else. This is where it's going. The system is being, how do I say this in a way that I haven't said it before? I don't know. This system is being deliberately inflated beyond belief, okay, to bring about an end. You know this, right, Jody Wales? The economy is being destroyed. The consumer is systematically being wiped out and eliminated and exterminated on a grand scale. Now, this is what they do to us. You and I, again, have discussed over and over. My blood pressure is going up. I'm telling you, I can feel my blood pressure rising as I got to measure my blood pressure like Gordon Gekko in the movie. I got to get one of those machines here. I really got to. It's just crazy. So you and I have discussed over and over how debts and deficits are going to continue to balloon. And it's going to get out of control. This is a headline, CNBC today. Look at this. The U.S. national debt is rising by 1 trillion about every 100 days. Do you see that? That's what I wrote here, right, Randy? Thank you. Yes, honestly. But if this isn't proof to you of what you and I have discussed right here over and over and over and over again, I tell you, I'm gonna just vape a lock. If this isn't proof to what we are in a full-blown, full-on, I mean, we're talking about off the Richter scale liquidity crisis, and the only way to keep this from imploding, we're going to end up in the biggest implosion that has ever been seen in the history of the world. Right, Art Jogo? You know it. I appreciate that. The fact is, this liquidity crisis is more extreme than anything you can possibly imagine. Now, what they're doing is, again, using a tactic that is war. Okay. War generates the need for more borrowed dollars than any other endeavor on the planet Earth. You know that. That's why war is being instituted now. It must be to keep the system afloat via or through this presidential selection cycle. You understand? And you also know this. Look, this whole thing, the debt-based system is the biggest curse that has ever been placed upon the people of the earth. It creates slaves, and they know this. They knew this at its inception, that central banks, right, David Taylor? Thank you for that. Wow, Big Smoke, thank you. Mika G, thank you. Yeah, we will have the last laugh, and we're going to have the last laugh. But again, this thing that we are in, and it's a full-blown liquidity crisis. I mean, anyone who can deny that doesn't know what they're looking at. And again, they're laughing at us. They're laughing at us. Look at the headline here, right, Ken? You get it. Anyway, this is going to implode so badly. It's going to suck everything into it like you can't even possibly believe. But you could if you follow this blog. I mean, there is no doubt at all in my mind anymore. Like I used to, maybe a few years ago, I thought that maybe we wouldn't ram or be shoved right into a worst case scenario. But we are being pushed there by our lovely policymakers who are working for the central banks, the Federal Reserve in this case. And, I mean, it's all over the place. This isn't just here in the United States. My Eurozone friends, and I have thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of Eurozone friends. Right, Darcy? Absolutely. Thank you. Imagine my shock here. The headline is, Eurozone inflation comes in higher than expected. Really? Who didn't expect this? Let me explain this to you before I really do have like a freaking brain aneurysm here that explodes on me on camera. Who are these people it's always the same story. It's not expected. No, nobody expected this except you. Is it really just you and I, or maybe the people that are not part of the mainstream propaganda? We understand that this is not going to stop. How is this not someone here that is smarter than me? And that means every single one of you who are smarter than me, even our old friend, Lord Humongous. I miss the guy. All smarter than Greg Mannarino. Explain to me how this creating debt out of nothing, that's 1 trillion every 100 days, right, Jody Wales again, and Captain Banana, thank you, and Dragana, wow, thank you. How is this not massively inflationary on top of everything else that we're throwing cash out right now? You think this is done? Oh, you heard that our lovely caring representatives did, in fact, kick the can down the road again. They can't tell you that we can't have a budget because it would limit spending. And all they're doing, again, we have nothing. Do you realize that? Do you realize that right now it's you and me and all of us here? This is a big family. This is a worldwide family here. Okay. We have zero representation. Okay. Did you vote to expand this war? That they're going to keep expanding? It's not going to stop. I didn't vote for that. No. And who's paying for it all? Where does the cash come from? Well, you know where it comes from. We don't have it. It's crazy. It's so out of control. Why pay taxes, Lava? You're absolutely right. Because it's a slave system. They want to suck us dry to the highest order. Again, you want to talk about paying for things, an invisible tax on people that is just so extreme. And it's hidden. It's hidden in plain sight. Again, understanding here that inflation by their own numbers is what? 3.9%, whatever it may be. an interest earning account here in the United States, like a savings account, 0.46%. That is theft, people. Theft on a gargantuan scale. But no one talks about it. Do you ever hear a single loving, caring representative talk about it? You hear someone running for president talking about that? Oh, no, you won't. Because they can't tell you. Because they work for the Federal Reserve. Even the man with the red hat. Yeah, him too. It's so crazy. Yes, the market is fixed. The market is rigged beyond. But what are we doing? Ronix 446. Thank you. We know how the market is rigged. But you see, you and me are so much smarter than those that are rigging the market. And all those other freaks out there who can't see what's in front of their face. You see, you and I, maybe we could think a little bit outside the box. Right, Christine? Right, Christine? Is it time to buy? Absolutely, it's time to buy. The market is going higher. Let me explain this to you too. What we witnessed today is exactly what we've been talking about. Let's refocus our attention for a moment. Earlier in the week, a 4.31, 4.32, whatever it was, on the 10-year yield, 4.18 right now, after this increased bombing campaign. We knew this was going to happen. It was just a matter of time, right, Suresh? You see what I'm talking about? Thank you. You see what I'm talking about? We called it. And this is going to continue. The more, here, let me show you what I did. I don't know if you can read my disgusting handwriting here. I wrote more war, more debt, more death. This is stuff that just pops into my head. The faster the economy implodes on itself and inflation is skyrocketing and it's all unforeseen and no one saw this coming here except me and Jerry and everybody else here. Thank you. The higher the market's going to go. This is fueling the market. Army Mom. Wow. Thank you. I tell you, people. Yes, exactly. You know, we got to remember what's going on here. Remember everyone too. It's so sick. What's going on here? It's just too much. But again, what else would you expect when you have this is a madhouse. It's a madhouse of the highest order. And do you think it's going to change? How many of you honestly believe this is going to change anytime soon? Do you believe? Okay, let's say the presidential selection doesn't go the way that it's looking that it's going to go. And that is I can't even think about it. I'm talking about the thing, creature, puke, vomitous mass, hideous thing sitting behind the Resolute desk. I can't look at him. I can't think about him. I can't listen to him talk. That's how extreme it is. Okay. But let's just say it goes the other way. The man with the red hat gets behind the Resolute desk again. Do you really believe all of this is going to change? It's just going to poof, go away? No, it is not. People are getting set up here for the biggest letdown in the history of their lives if they think that's what's going to happen. It ain't happening, people. You got to wake up. You got to wake up, and you got to wake up now. Start thinking about what you need to do. All right. And if you're new here, and we lost a whole bunch of people here. I don't know if you know that I told you. I lost a ton of creature supporters here. We're talking about Biden supporters. I've lost a lot of them, and they're all, oh, well, I'm unsubscribing from you, Greg, because you're so mean. You're a mean man. Right, Ron Schubert? Ron, is that you? I've been asking you, is that you from 1,000 years ago? Anyway, thank you, and thank you, Eric S. too. Anyway, people, look, I don't know, really, of another grouping of people who have a better handle on this than you and I. We've called this almost to the freaking letter. We've called things to the day when this whole bombing campaign would start and how this would happen and where this would go. It's astonishing. We've called the markets. You and me, go back to the videos from the end of last year. You want to talk about nailing this market to the wall? You want Bitcoin, all this other stuff here, where the opportunities are, this channel here, okay? If I were not me, I would want to subscribe to this channel. That's really the truth here. I'm being honest with you, you know? And again, look, this is a collective effort, and I learn a lot. Believe me, I am not the smartest guy in this room by a long shot. I'm probably the stupidest person in this entire room here. That's the truth. All of you, I learn from all of you so much. I read the comments. I try to pay attention to what's going on from all of you, and it's all of you. It's not me, I would tell you, but I'm happy to be kind of like the spokesperson here for this Cosa Nostra that we got, our thing. Anyway, people, look. So what do I want you to pay attention to right now? Let's cover this too. We forgot. I'm sorry, I forgot because I got carried away. So on the economic front, construction spending falls, and as we already know, well, that's a leading indicator as well. But business spending it's just stopped pretty much. But our economy is booming, and we couldn't possibly be doing any better. You know that because that's what they're telling you, and it must be true, right, Sea Wife? I appreciate that, man. I really do. Anyway, before we end this lovely video, I'm trying to think. I covered gold, silver, crude. I covered the markets, new record highs. Imagine my shock. Unexpected inflation in Eurozone. My poor Eurozone friends, people here too around the world. This is deliberate. This is deliberate. You and I have known this, okay, and they can't stop because we are in a liquidity crisis that is beyond anybody's wildest dreams except yours. But you don't hear about this. Why is it, do you think, that they can flash a headline like this? See, in this case, it's CNBC. They can do this, but they can't explain to you why, what's actually going on here, and how, again, we have zero representation. We have no voice at all. But meanwhile, we got to pay taxes, right? Like Lava said, why are we paying taxes for? Because if we don't, they're going to come and lock us up, all right? That's the truth. Imagine that. You want to talk about, what are you free to do? You're free to be a slave. That's what you're free to be. You know that, right? Everything else is an illusion. I hope you all get it. I know you do. You're all awake, everyone that's been here. And anyway, people, look, I think we're going to conclude this lovely video. Again, I want to thank you for your support. Thank you for your friendship, your love, those thumbs up, people. Please, 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 the accountant, thank you. Share this stuff. Get it out there. We need each other, and you know that. Now, with that said, it's Friday. You're not going to see me until Sunday for my markets a look ahead segment. Let's see what happens over this weekend. Okay, there's going to be more bombing. They're going to do something else. I'm just waiting for some kind of a false flag, and I would be very surprised if it happens considering what's happening here. Okay. On American soil right now, it'll probably be staged someplace else, of course, because again, this is a selection cycle. They can't do that stuff. All this black ops stuff, it's all well thought out, and they gotta program you first before they actually do it. They give you clues. If you all these things that happen, they let us know first, right, Lava? Wow, thank you. And I think you all know what I'm talking about here. They send out these messages to us here. You got to pay attention to it, and then all of a sudden it happens. You don't got to be psychic or have a sixth sense or be a time traveler or anything like that to get it. But that's kind of what's happening here, right, people? Yeah, exactly. Like Convid too. It's freaking nuts. So it's bizarre. All right, look, bring it in. Bring it in. No one's looking, and if they are, tell them to come into it. Ready? Love each other, care about each other, be charitable. People, thank you again with all I got. I appreciate that. All of you. I appreciate everything from you. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. As I said, I'll see you Sunday. Let's put this week behind us, okay? I have one day off essentially, and that's. I don't even have a day off. Do you realize that, Eb? Yeah, because I follow this stuff around the clock, and I can't get it out of my head. I wish I could. I really, really do. All right. I am so out of here. Love all of you again. Thank you. See you Sunday.